In September 2025, Bob and I set out on our second Camino Francés, intending to take more time on this Camino. Our pace averaged just over 10 miles a day, giving us room to enjoy the landscape, the cafes, the quiet moments, and to avoid the 40-kilometer day we'd sworn never to repeat. In this video, we're covering the stretch from Santo Domingo de la Calzada to Burgos. Traditional Camino stages cover this distance in about 3 days. On our slow Camino, it took us 4. This section has 2 real climbs, one after Villafranca Montes de Oca and another after Atapuerca, along with plenty of rolling hills to keep your legs honest. Some of the highlights on this stretch include the murals in Belorado, more Camino sunrises, the climb to cruise to Atapuerca, and the first wide views towards Burgos. The walk from Santo Domingo de la Calzada to Belorado is about 22 kilometers or 13.8 miles. This is a long day for us. We left after sunrise, crossed the Puente del Santo, the medieval bridge over the Oja River, and passed the small Ermita del Puente, the hermitage beside it. About 7 kilometers later, we reached Grañón, where we stopped for coffee and Napolitanos. Grañón greets you with Camino murals, and there's a great cafe running out of a vintage Citroën truck at the top of the steps. They also have cats. It's a fun stop. To make this even more memorable, the sun came up while we were having coffee. Walking through town, we passed the Iglesia de San Juan Bautista, closed like many churches along the route. On the Camino, if there's a particular church you truly want to visit, it's worth checking the opening hours, though we've learned that even the posted hours can be, well, flexible. Just past Grañón, you leave La Rioja and enter Castilla y León, the largest of Spain's autonomous communities. La Rioja is known for its vineyards and rolling hills. Castilla y León is wheat fields, big skies, and a sense of vastness, a hint of the Meseta to come. As we approached Relive del Camino, we passed a large highway construction project. The Camino detours slightly here to keep pilgrims safe from construction equipment. Relive del Camino has a lovely church, the Iglesia de Nuestra Señora de la Calle, home to an unusual 12th century Romanesque baptismal font. Instead of a simple bowl, it's carved like an entire Romanesque city with towers, arches, and rooflines. It represents the heavenly Jerusalem, and it's considered one of the finest Romanesque fonts in Spain. Next was Castillo Delgado, where we stopped for café con leche and a bocadillo, another favorite Camino fuel. A bit later, we reached Viloria de Rioja, birthplace of Santo Domingo de la Calzada. The church here, the Iglesia de la Ascensión, holds another important baptismal font, believed to be where Santo Domingo was baptized. The church was closed when we walked by. From here, we started seeing more fields of sunflowers dried and ready to be harvested for sunflower oil. The Camino follows the highway briefly before entering Belorado, our home for the night. Belorado has fantastic murals, a pretty main square, and the Iglesia de Santa Maria with its striking stone facade. That night we had one of the most elegant pilgrim meals of the entire Camino at the Hotel La Huela del Camino. Day 14 was a lovely short walk of 11.9 kilometers or 7.4 miles from Belorado to Villafranca Montes de Oca. First, the name of the destination. Villafranca Montes de Oca means French town of the geese of the mountains. The game of the goose follows us everywhere. We left later than usual and enjoyed a few more murals as we walked out of Belorado. Then it was wheat fields, sunflower fields, and wide open skies. We stopped into Santos about 5 kilometers in for café con leche. After leaving town, perched in the cliffside, you can see the Ermita de la Peña, a hermitage built directly in the rock. Next came Villambistia, home to a famous pilgrim fountain. Legend says its waters restore a pilgrim's strength, and whether or not that's true, it's a lovely stop. The small chapel of San Roque, one of our favorite pilgrim saints, sits nearby. Just 1.6 kilometers later, we pass through Espinosa del Camino, a tiny hamlet without many services. Before reaching Villafranca, the Camino crosses fields dotted with old stone chozos, circular shepherd shelters built from dry stone once used to escape the sun and storms. You enter Villafranca Montes de Oca along the highway. It's a small town with deep Camino roots, once home to one of the largest medieval pilgrim hospitals. We stayed at San Antón Abad, which occupies the original hospital site. The hotel dog greeted us again. She was here during our 2023 Camino too. We walked to the church, the Iglesia de Santiago, but it was closed. For dinner, we had sopa de ajo, garlic soup. It's a classic Castilian dish made with bread, paprika, and a soft poached egg. Simple but delicious, especially after a long day of walking. Day 15 took us 18.1 kilometers or 11.2 miles from Villafranca Montes de Oca to Atapuerca. This was a big day, not only for the walk, but because we had tickets for a 5 p.m. tour of the Atapuerca archaeological site, one of the most important prehistoric sites in the world where human fossils over 1 million years old have been found. The day began with an immediate climb up the Alto de la Pedraja, rising to 1,149 meters, or about 3,770 feet. The climb feels like it goes on forever, and this morning the bugs also went on forever, but the sunrise over the valley eased some of the discomfort. These woods once had a dark reputation. Pilgrims feared bandits here during the Middle Ages, when this area was remote and sparsely guarded. Near the top, there's a quiet memorial honoring nearly 300 people executed here during the Spanish Civil War. It's a peaceful spot now, but with a heavy history. From there, it's downhill, then uphill for a bit, then downhill again into San Juan de Ortega. This town was founded by the disciple of Santo Domingo, and the monastery church is famous for the miracle of the light, when sunlight illuminates the Annunciation statue every equinox. We stopped in town for a quick snack. From San Juan de Ortega, the trail is mostly downhill. We walked through a forest before returning to wheat country. It was a hot day, so we stopped again in Ajes for an Aquarius. Ajes is a charming village with stone houses, a peaceful little square, and a few cafes. The walk from Ajes to Atapuerca follows the highway until a short detour leads you across a small medieval bridge. It seems the Camino will always detour for a medieval bridge. Approaching town, you'll see the Carex Experimental Archaeology Center on the right. This is not the dig site, but the location where the tour buses depart. They also pick up from Atapuerca Village, which is more convenient for pilgrims. We'll post a separate video on how to fit Atapuerca into your Camino once we're done with this series. In the meantime, drop a comment if you have questions about booking this tour. Atapuerca itself is small, quiet, and very pilgrim-friendly, although when we were there, only one cafe was open, so meals were a challenge. We found our Casa Rural, got some food, and then headed to the site tour. A long day, but definitely unforgettable. Day 16 was a 20.1 kilometer or 12.5 mile walk from Atapuerca to Burgos. In 2023, we walked from Villafranca Montes de Oca to Burgos in one day, nearly 40 kilometers, and it was brutal. so even though today was long, we knew it would be better than last time. We started early, stopping at a bakery that opened at 6:30 a.m., practically unheard of on the Camino. Properly fueled, we started climbing the Sierra de Atapuerca in the dark. Close to the top, we stopped to watch the sunrise wash over the farmland. Then we paused again at the cruise to Atapuerca. From here, it's downhill all the way to Burgos through wheat fields and sunflower fields. Once you come down from the Sierra, you have a choice. Going left takes you through two small towns, one with services. Going straight is shorter. For this Camino, we chose the shorter option. We hoped to stop in Orbanija Riopica for a snack, but we arrived during siesta and everything was closed. A little later, after crossing the highway, you face the big choice: river route or industrial route. In 2023, we took the river route because we'd heard it was scenic, but we were so exhausted that day we barely noticed, so this time we tried the industrial route. Yes, it's shorter, and the industrial scenery didn't really bother us, but it's so much pavement, our feet took a beating. Looking at the map, the industrial route hits city streets much sooner, so now that we've done both, we think the river route is the better choice. One of the highlights of this day was unexpectedly simple: an Aquarius break at a mini-mart attached to a gas station. They had a table and chairs, and in that moment, it felt like a luxury. As they say, the Camino provides. Eventually, the industrial zone becomes residential, and then, before you know it, you're in the historic town center. We found our hotel, dropped our packs, and headed out to explore. Burgos is a beautiful city with deep ties to Spain's medieval past. It was once the capital of Castilla and home to El Cid, whose legacy is everywhere. We didn't visit the cathedral this time, but if you haven't seen it, it's worth it. A masterpiece of Gothic architecture and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. El Cid is buried here. Fans of the Way movie with Martin Sheen will recognize the Arco de Santa Maria, the cathedral, and the restaurant where the young traveler stole Tom's backpack. There's one more filming location in Burgos, but we won't get to that until the next video. Burgos is absolutely worth a rest day, though you still may not get much rest with so much to explore. Thanks for watching and sharing this part of our Camino with us. We'll pick up the journey in Burgos in the next video. Buen Camino and see you soon.